Hey everybody, what's good, Houston Nation? I got my co-host here, Dante, on the at H-TownRundown Houston Rockets basketball podcast. Thank you guys for joining us today. We got a lot to talk about. I know I'm excited, Dante excited. It's gonna be a huge episode. Let's get right to the intro. Dante, how you feel, man? Go ahead and tell us how you feel.
Oh man, we got us a victory, man, over the New York Knicks, man. The New York Knicks were coming in this game ready to pretty much eat because eat was left over for us. But again, like I say, we got us a victory on Amin Thompson playing a very good game, and Dylan Brooks by his shooting, man, was really good. But we'll get more than that in that discussion. But happy to do a stream with your brother with a victory, coming off a victory.
A victory, Dante. We've had 24 of these now, these so-called victories, and you've already beat our wins, right, from last season, which was 22. So that's a good thing. That's a good start. But we've had some up and down plays. And speaking of up and down plays, we're gonna break down the three losses between the Pacers, Raptors, and Hawks, the huge W with the Knicks, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about the trade deadline because, as you guys know, we didn't do shit for the trade deadline. And then we'll talk about the midseason Houston grades for the starters. So let's jump right into it, man. Dante, first game on the list here is that Pacers game. It felt like it was a fake comeback multiple times. There were times where it felt like we could win, but ultimately we ended up losing this game 129 to 132. We had a couple good games here from some other players. Jalen Green, obviously, with 33 minutes, he had 30 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, and 2 steals. You like to see the defensive intensity from Jalen Green. He shot 60, 60, 75 from the field, which is nice considering Jalen's probably one of the more inefficient players in the team, especially in the league. Then Dylan Brooks, he played 31 and a half minutes. He had 23 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, and a steal. Really, really, really nice to see from him. He shot 53.3% from the field, 50% from 3, and he made all his free throws, which we love to see. And then Amin Thompson, in his 34 minutes of play, he had 7 offensive rebounds for 13 points, 13 boards, 6 assists, and 3 blocks. Anytime Amin is out on the field, just count 10 boards. Just give us a plus 10 immediately, bro. I love Amin, his intensity to be able to get the boards. He shot 46% from the field. Did make a 3, but that's not his thing. And he only went 25% from the free throw line. Dante, go ahead, break it down. We're going to talk about quite a few things here. Start off with the ball movement for the team, please.
Oh yeah, man. The ball movement was really good. Pretty much in this game, man. I say, man, another one of them quarters, when we up and we have another one of those third quarters again when we let the Pacers back in the game. But like I say, man, Jalen Green played a hell of a game. I've been liking the way he's been playing some basketball for us lately. He's been definitely improving. And like I say, I'm kind of excited that Ime Udoka did not give up on him being in the lineup. Eventually he's gonna get it together. But other than that, man, I'm just I say if we let the third quarter get away from us, we actually let the third quarter get away from us again. Another quarter, you cannot keep giving up these 30-point quarters each and every game that result into losing basketball right there. But we actually killed them on the boards. We had 23 more rebounds than they did, 48 to 25, and we have 20 offensive boards, man. That is crazy, man. We killed them on the boards, and you're thinking that, hey, we should be winning it. We should be winning this game when you're getting 20 offensive rebounds. That's a possession every time we get a miss or we get a miss. And we had 26 assists. I like the ball movement. The ball movement was pretty good in this game. But they outsisted us by 9. 15 turnovers, pretty up and down right there. We points off turnovers. We even destroyed them in points off turnovers. We got out in the fast break. The fast break to 14 points. They were killing us in the paint, though. They were really killing us in the paint. They had 64 points in the paint. And again, 79. We shot 73% from the free throw line. But at the end of the day, they were hot from the three too. Just like the first game, they were really good from the three. They shot three. They made three more threes than we did, and they shot a higher percentage than we did. Not saying we wasn't good from the three, but they shot pretty good from the 3-point line, which is they made 15 3-pointers. And we came back late in the game. We tried to make a late comeback when we down in the fourth quarter, but it just wasn't enough. Like the momentum was already given up in the third quarter, pretty much. And then you had to fight to try to come back in the game. And Tyrese Halliburton just happens all the time, just happens in late game situations.
Yeah, and another thing on to that was like the bench, right? Like our entire bench only scored 20 people.
Yep.
Between Buddy Hield at the time when he was still there and TJ McConnell, they scored 29 points.
Yep.
I thought TJ McConnell was hurt. So I didn't even know that he was playing in the game until they said, oh, yeah, TJ McConnell got 17 points. I was like, excuse me? He's shot 8 for 11 from the field. You really want to attribute it to coaching this game. Because TJ, not that he's a bad player, but, he's been injured. He's been kind of off and on. He's been different, but he's not a needle mover. And in this game, he was a huge needle mover with 17 points off the bench in only 20 minutes. He's putting up those cam stats. But yeah, overall, we 20 offensive rebounds. You look at that stat and you're like, oh my gosh, you should have blown them out by 20. Not in Houston. We can get as many offensive rebounds as we want. And unfortunately, when we're not hitting our shots, when we're not, free,
Yeah, we wasn't capitalizing on our opportunities when we was getting those offensive rebounds, man. When you get those offensive rebounds, you got to make the most of them. 20 offensive rebounds. That's every time we miss. That's a second chance point. But again, like I say, we gotta take advantage of those offensive boards, man. We gotta make our shots when we get those offensive boards. That's too many possessions. That's too many offensive possessions, and not scoring on those second chance opportunities.
100%, and then you look around, you look across like for who scored the most, right? Jalen, he took 21 shots. He's supposed to be your primary scorer, so Jalen taking 20 plus is expected. But you had Dylan Brooks, go 8 of 15 for good efficiency, but Dylan Brooks is taking 15 shots. You had Jabari take 15 shots, and then you had Şengün, who was your best player, only take 15 shots. So he was tied for second most shots on the team. I don't want, and we'll talk about that going forward, is the shot distribution with that, but Şengün also didn't play a great game. He had a double-double, he had 20 and 10 with 6 assists, which is really nice to see. But he shot 47% from the field. And a guy that's only taking 1-3 a game, a center, especially 47% is not going to cut it. You're looking, if you're only taking paint shots, especially with how crafty he is, he should be shooting consistently that 53, 54%, no matter what, especially since all of his shots are coming from inside the paint, 0 to 5 feet out, so that's the expectation going forward, especially for, once we talk about our season grades. Alvin Şengün's got to be, got to be that guy. But again, Jalen had a good game, 6% from the field, and he went 3 of 5 from 3, which again, his 3-ball has been very inconsistent. Dante and I are going to talk about that, the midseason grades. Unfortunately, he's been up and down, up and down. You can look at his last 6 games, single digit scoring and then double digit scoring, single digit scoring, it's tough and inefficiency. So we'll talk more about that. But this Pacers game, we could have won, but we let Pascal Siakam go nuclear in the third quarter there. And then at that point, I believe Tyrese Halliburton only had 9 or 7 points going into the half. And then in that third quarter, he scored 12 of his total, which was 18.
Yeah.
So, or he scored 10 of his 18 there in the third quarter. And then we got blown out, 24-38 in that third quarter. So again, common theme from the Silas era still being relevant with the Houston Rockets is that third quarter just getting blown out.
Yeah.
For a while there, the third quarter was like our strength. We may not have played really great in the first half or, that second quarter, but that third quarter we made sure, or at least Ime made sure that was the strongest quarter. We were putting up the 32 plus points in that third quarter that really gave us that offensive boost. Now we're starting to fall back into that kind of, that losing I don't want to say losing mentality because it's not really the mentality, but like we aren't initiating and finishing plays at the same level we were earlier in the season. I think we caught a lot of teams off guard with how much we had improved, but teams have read the book and said, all right, they're going to just, do run spam, pick and roll, Alperen Şengün and Jabari Smith. So let's just hedge up on that, and all right, you got your shooting guard shooting 30% from three, leave his ass wide open, or force him into a step back, let Dillon Brooks take the three, which is cool that Dillon Brooks is shooting. I think now he's shooting 40% from three.
40%. Yep.
But like, it's not that I don't want Dillon Brooks doing well. I love when Dillon Brooks plays well. He brings a lot of energy, and we'll talk about it with tonight's game against the Knicks. He brought a lot of energy that was necessary tonight. He's got that dog in him, but like, he's not your offensive piece. He's a two-way player that can provide offense and does play defense, but his primary ability isn't offense. And the fact that it has been, so prominent in the offensive role means we're lacking a lot all around. So let's jump right into the next game here. That Raptors game, which was not great. We got Dillon Brooks yet again against the Raptors here, 104-107 L. It was not a great game all around from the team. This is probably the worst game that Alperen Şengün and Jalen Green have played together simultaneously, where they were both atrocious. Not a great game. Dillon Brooks played 30.5 minutes here. He had 20 points. Again, one of our leading scorers, 2 boards, 3 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. He played fantastic, 46% from the field and 80% from three, and made all his free throws. Just phenomenal game from him on both sides of the ball. And then Cam Whitmore. What more do you guys say about this kid, man? 24 minutes played. He had 19 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block, literally filling up the stat sheet everywhere. He shot 55% from the field, 60% from three, and made all of his free throws. My goodness, Dante's going to break down the game. And let's start with how no Fred VanVleet changes our entire offense. My goodness.
Goodness gracious. That's crazy, man.
Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, that's crazy. No Fred VanVleet just changes our team, man. Just like that, man. And man, Fred Van, like it shows means a lot when you have that veteran leader in your locker room, and also to calm a team down when you're doing when we're doing kind of anemic on the offensive side of the ball. But this game did not start out well. We were down by 1 point. Their largest lead was 22 in this game, and we fought back in the fourth quarter. By that time, it was too late. We shot great from the 3-point line. We shot 39%, made 15 threes, got to the free throw line 16 times, made 81%. We killed them on the boards. I mean, we points off turnovers, we had 29, but 22 turnovers killed us. Too many turnovers in this game, especially the live ball turnovers is killing them. I don't mind, like, if you're going to make those type of turnovers, they cannot be the live ball turnovers. They got to be the out of bounds turnovers. They got to be, where you can set your defense up. It can't be while the ball is in play and they're getting fast break points, 22-18, and then they're living in the paint with 56 paint points. And that means our paint was really sweet that night. And again, we had 22 turnovers, so every pretty much stat indicated that we should have won the game. But when you have 22 turnovers and most of them was live ball turnovers, that's a piece for disaster. And LP probably had his worst game. Jalen Green went 3 for 11 in this game. They both was absolutely atrocious in this game. Jeff Green, 27 minutes, 3 of 11, wasn't good. We didn't have a good shooting game pretty much. But, I mean, how many times I got to say about, Cam Whitmore, man. Cam Whitmore is playing out of his mind. Shohei Daddy rolled his ankle in this game. But he's played out of his mind, man. I like this kid, man. Like I say, this kid, again, no matter if I think Tyrese is close to coming back soon. I think Cam Whitmore should be back on Wednesday, I believe, him and Fred. So everything should be pretty much good going back into Memphis to try to get some momentum going into the All-Star break. But other than that, when Easton comes back, Cam Whitmore's got to stay in this rotation. I mean, you found the way to keep Aaron Holiday in the rotation, and boy, he's playing well, and we're going to get to him in a second. But other than that, Jabari Smith did not have a great second half, but he did not have a great first half, but he had a solid second half in this game. Both our rookies, Amin Thompson and, And Cam Whitmore is playing absolutely well, man. They're playing really
Phenomenal.
basketball, bro. Phenomenal basketball.
100%, man. And you broke that down pretty well there. Not having Fred VanVleet diminishes like 3/4 of our ball movement right there immediately. Plus, even though we're getting in transition, right, we're getting some transition plays, we're not getting back in transition as much. Fred is like, what I noticed today against the Knicks, we'll get into, is like Amen's hands have progressively gotten so much better throughout the season. And that's a trait that Fred VanVleet and like FVV teaches only. The way he's able to kind of slap at the ball and get at him, which halts some sort of fast breaks occasionally, is really great. But in the game, I want to say the only reason why we were even relatively close was our bench. Compared to their bench, they scored about 24 points between all four of their bench players. And we had 29 points between Aaron Holiday and Cam Whitmore off the bench, right? And then Jeff Green also 11 points, 6 boards, and a block. My goodness. Reggie Bullock was actually hooping in this game. He went 2 of 2 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3. He hit his shots. Man, you just got to really attribute it to the starting lineup. It's really bad when you're bench, which nothing on our guys on the bench. Our bench is not that deep compared to other teams. We've got a lot of guys in it that could be something, but if we were, vying for a championship, these are not guys like, a few of these guys are not guys that are not even on the championship team, and they're an important piece to our team. We use them every single night, and it's really tough, when you got Jayshawn Tate just running out there getting cardio. He did go 2 of 3 in this game. He scored 4 points, and he did have 3 rebounds, but we need shooters off the bench. That's the biggest thing. And once we get to the trade deadline, options, we'll talk about that as well. How it was very disappointing. Spoiler alert. Man, there was a lot of plays in this game where I thought we can come back, and then they got 2 possessions. That Tyrese Halliburton 3 that just killed us for the game too. And Hallie, from Iowa, I support the man himself, but boy, I need you to not kill the Rockets. I need you to not be doing that to us, unfortunately. And then again, and Tyrese Halliburton from last game, and then in this game alone, like Emmanuel Quickly, 25 points. You look at Scottie Pippen, my goodness, Scottie Barnes. He's a guy that I thought was going to go off this game, and he went 4 of 16. So we defended him well. But RJ Barrett went 8 of 12. He had 21 points and 7 assists, which it seems like the Toronto's offense over there has unlocked some new level of playmaking for him. He's been really good over there, I think. Him and Quickly both. Unfortunately, we didn't get into the Gary Trent sweepstakes. I would have loved to have got him over here when they traded away Pascal and everybody else. However, this would have been a fun return game for Fred. Last time we played the Raptors, we actually blew them out. We blew them out, I think, by like 20 plus. The game was over in the third quarter. But, they come back. They were ready. Head coach was ready. Everybody was ready. And we were not ready. That first quarter, we were losing. I think we were down 12-14 in that first quarter. They scored at least 32. Tough. Very tough from our team. We expect better. And going forward, hopefully they do play better. Speaking of better, talk about this turnaround game for Jalen Green. Now, yes, we did lose this game by 9, 113-122. But Jalen Green had his first career triple-doubles. He has more triple-doubles than Anthony Edwards. I just want to put that out there. Anthony Edwards has not had a triple-double. Jalen has. So there's that discourse going around now. That was fun on X to see that kind of going around now. But Jalen, he played 37 minutes against the Hawks, 26 points, 14 rebounds, which is another career high in rebounds this season for him, 10 assists, and a steal. He was really racking it up everywhere. He shot 45% from the field. He did not shoot very well from 3. He went 22.2%, and he went 57% from their free throw line. Just not a great night efficiency-wise, but we love to see the triple-double. And then Uncle Jeff, man, he had to play 31 and a half minutes starting. This man is too old to be starting, but he started. 19 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, and a block. He shot 60% from the field, 57% from 3, and he went 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Dante, there's a lot to talk about in this game. We're going to break down, but go ahead and start off with how not only missing Fred VanVleet, but in this game we were missing Alperen Sengun too. So we had no playmaking, and Jalen somehow still got 10 assists. Just absolutely incredible.
Well, I liked the way we actually started off the game. We started off the game pretty well in this game. We was up 31-19 at the beginning of the first quarter, ending of the first quarter, I believe. Then again, you already know we gotta let a quarter. It's gotta be a quarter that we don't win, and it's gotta be a quarter that we give up points in. In the second quarter, was the quarter that killed us in this game, and after the halftime score, when the Toronto went up, when Atlanta went up, we kind of we fought to try to stay in the game, but we just couldn't catch them. But again, Jalen Green had a hell of a game in this game. We shot 30% from the 3-point line. We missed 7 free throws. We went 12 of 19 from the free throw line. We didn't make our free throws, 63%. We out rebounded them 58 to 41. They out assist us by 325 and 17 turnovers. That's pretty a high turnover margin. Do not like that. I like our turnovers set down from 13 to 12 a little bit. I'd be okay with that turnover margin. 18 points off those turnovers for the Hawks, and they also had 16 fast break points. They had 48 points in our paint, and we also had 2 technical fouls. And Jalen Johnson was just living in our paint, man. That dude was just getting dunk after dunk after dunk. I forgot what's that guy named Okongwu caught a body early in the game. Yeah, he caught a body early in the game. That was pretty tough right there on Aaron Holiday. I believe that's what it was on. But Aaron Holiday, like I say, I think he played pretty well, especially in that second quarter. Aaron Holiday came out with that energy. But again, that second quarter, we lost that second quarter. That pretty much sealed the momentum for us a little bit. And Thompson came out on fire, man. He came out driving to the rim, had 2 great dunks, tomahawk dunks, man. You talking about athleticism, man. Rebounding, 11 rebounds. He's everything I thought he would be. I mean, and more,
man.
He can just get him a jump shot, at least make the mid range. He'll be fine, man. But I like what he's doing. Penetrating to the basket, playing some good defense, great defense. Rebounding for his 6'7", and also he's been efficient from the field. He's not being struggling really from the field. He's been really good. And Jalen Green played a great game. A triple double. He didn't shoot the ball well from 3, but he was efficient all around from the field. And Aaron Holiday again, 18 points, 3 of 5 from the 3-point line. What more could I say about him? And Uncle Jeff Green, was really good. Grandpa Jeff Green was really good too. 19 points in this game. Jabari Smith struggled mightily in this game. Dylan Brooks had 14 points, but he struggled shooting in this game on some bad inefficiency. But one highlight, Jalen Green with that little tomahawk dunk on that was the thing of the night. That was the talk of the night in the dunk of the night. That little dunk on that big time dunk on one of the top best perimeter defenders, Murray. That was crazy.
Dude, he got that thing back, man. That was crazy. And then, with the Pacers just a few games before that, Jalen had that running play where he snatched the ball back, caught Andrew Nembhard, spinning around, and he shot that 3. Right? Because we didn't get to talk about this play. He shot that 3, got the M1 on the 3. Jalen was making some plays, man. Again, not a very efficient night from all of our guys except for a select few. And then, like you said, dude, Aaron Holiday, man, he had 18 points off the bench, 7 to 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. He is earning his paycheck. Now, the things that really hurt us was the fouling. Right? We had 26 fouls to their 18. And with that, they ended up having 37 free throw attempts to our 19. That's not a great look, when you're looking at it like that. We had a lot of bad fouls. We had a lot of the Trae Young fouls, of course. He does that. He draws those fouls. But there were a few and ones that were called pretty tightly, pretty closely against the Hawks here. But I just want to give it up, man. Despite the L, we had, no Şengün, no Tari, no Fred VanVleet, everybody played poorly. One thing you can look at this and say, Jalen Green with a career high in assists, career high in rebounds, first triple-double. He's one of the youngest shooting guards to do so, in his third year here. And he's doing it before a lot of players have even had a career triple-double. I don't think Devin Booker's had a career triple-double. He's been here 7 years in the league, It's incredible to see him, hoop like this. But, his lows are low as hell, but his highs are high as hell, man. He just needs to figure out a way to level that out, or at least if he's going to be hot, man, just, get your 50, 60. That's what I need. I need you to be a little more efficient. Now, when you're talking about Amen Thompson, something that kind of intrigues me, and, you can debate me on this if you want. His game kind of reminds me of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander without a jump shot. If he can get that mid-range, you don't even got to get a three. If he can get a mid-range down, he could be a very effective 20 points per game scorer at some point in his career with us, And hopefully he stays with us, I'm talking like a 20 and 10 guy, or 18 and 12 assists, without a jump shot. He's so effective. And not to mention, he's getting rebounds like he's Russell Westbrook, that was something that really intrigued me, was his athleticism, because I didn't watch much of him from the Overtime Elite. I just kind of saw some highlights here and there, and then saw what he brought out from the training camp. He looked really good, and then we saw the 5 or 6 minutes of him in Summer League, and that was it for a while. But he's skies up for those rebounds, he can really, really get those rebounds. He can score so effortlessly, but he chooses not to. He's an active, willing passer. That's something else that we need on this team, is a guy that, can draw the defense and is willing to pass. We don't have very many of those guys in the league in general. Everyone wants to just go get theirs, but we have one right here in Amen Thompson. So I want to give credit where it's due to, Jeff Green getting 19 starting tonight. I want to give credit to Amen Thompson just getting another double-double, man. He's just a double-double machine. He's had 5 out of 6 double-doubles so far, or 4 out of 6 double-doubles in his 4 out of 6 career starts for the Houston Rockets. So I just want to put that out there as well. He's been so fantastic. And then again, Jalen Green, man, triple-double. Yeah. He was on triple-double watch a few games ago. He had, I think he ended the game with 7 assists. He could have had a triple-double, but he didn't play at all in the third quarter. That was against the Raptors, I believe, the first time we played them when we blew them out. Need more of this from Jalen. Need more consistency. Need more efficiency. And more efficiency from the team all around. I think that we can work on that. So,
yep.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like I said again, man, it gives us another guard that can like I say, I like the way Amen Thompson is hooping, man. Amen Thompson is really hooping. He's playing some good basketball for us, and he's everything that I expected him to come up out of the draft. I remember watching him in Overtime Elite. Him and his brother was dominating in Overtime Elite. But again, man, like I say, they were the best players in Overtime Elite. They were the best players. So again, to come in the NBA and do what he doing right now, and I mean, this guy just flat out amazes me when he plays good defense. And like I say, I'm a rave about his defense on tonight's victory, because this man was huge tonight, man. This man was great, awesome.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of tonight's game, man, huge W, 105-103, wire to wire ending here, from beginning to the end. Now, we were up, I believe, at halftime by 12, and we let that lead slip away in the third quarter as per usual.
I thought it started to look like to turn into the Steven Silas era all over again.
Everyone started missing shots. Everyone started going cold. No one didn't know what to do. And then holiday season hit us one more time. It was Christmas, because Aaron Holiday in 26 minutes of play tonight, man. Clutch ass free throws. He played 26 minutes tonight, 18 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, 50% from the field. You love that from your bench player. This guy did it all tonight. Talk about that dunk he had on not one, not two
people, 2
players, man. He's only had 6 career dunks, and 2 of them have been with us. And he slammed that hole, man. He's gone crazy. I love it. I love it, man. Aaron Holiday, just something about him. I don't know what it is, but he just goes crazy. He ended up shooting only 67% from the free throw line. He went it looked like he went 3 of 4 in game, but his stats on NBA.com say he only took 3 free throws, which is really interesting. They took a free throw away from him. I'm not sure why they ended up doing that. But he had 3 boards and 4 assists to go along with that. And then let's talk about our rookie, Amen Thompson, dude. 38 minutes played, 8 points on 5 shots, went 80% from the field, didn't take a three, missed both of his free throws, but he had 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals. Now, again, in the NBA app before the game was over, it said he had 6 steals.
Yep.
He listed at 6 steals, but they changed it to 5 steals, unfortunately. I'm not sure as to why they were going back and changing stats, but he had 5 steals as of 10:28 p.m. tonight. And then Dylan Brooks, 37 minutes played. He was not great in the first half. I wanted Ime to get a leash on him. He was starting to look like that Grizzlies guy that ended up losing that series for the Lakers, for the Grizzlies against the Lakers last year. He started to look like, that old Dylan Brooks that everyone said he was going to be out of the league and be in China and yada, yada, yada. Well, not tonight. 23 points, 5 boards and assists on 53%, 85.7% from the 3, 6 of 7, which ties his career high, by the way. And he split his free throws. Dante, there's a lot to talk about from this game, but please start with Aaron Holiday, man.
That dunk over 2 people was absolutely crazy, man. I enjoy that, man. That was a hell of a dunk, man. Aaron, like I say, ever since Amin Thompson went out, his big break, he was on the verge. He wasn't getting any type of playing time at first, but again, when you capitalize on your opportunities, when you get an opportunity, Aaron Holiday definitely did that. From the moment he got in the rotation, because Amin Thompson went down, he never missed a beat. And right now, this guy is helping us out, man. Join me some Aaron Holiday, man. Real talk. Aaron Holiday shooting a 3 well, shooting some free throws, going to the rim. Not afraid to go into the paint. But I thought Amin Thompson defense was really good tonight in this game. You talking about the steal that he got on Boban Bogdanovic? That was a big time steal to set up a bucket, and him getting a big time rebound late in the game and putting it back up and in. He missed a tip. He missed a tip at first, and then he got his own tip back twice and then laid it up and in. So I thought he was huge on the defensive side of the ball. You seeing a glimpse of what he's what he can do, and I still don't know how he's left off the Rising Stars game. I still don't know. That remains to be seen. We would never know why he's left off, but again, I thought he was great in this game. We missed 10 free throws. We were bad at the line. We shot 69% from the free throw line, and we got to the free throw. We were aggressive. We got to the free throw line 33 times in this game, and we missed 10 free throws, and we got better. We got some very good shooters on this team, and we missing 10 free throws. We were 69%. We can't have that to happen. But the Knicks didn't shoot much better because they shot 58%, so that was some bad free throw shooting. They did out-rebound us 51-39. They had 19 offensive rebounds. We had 22 assists. And see, the turnovers I love. 12 turnovers. I just talked about the 12 turnovers. I love that. We forced 17 turnovers. And points in the paint, they got us in points in the paint. But, again, Amin Thompson was really good in this game. Aaron Holiday was huge, made some huge plays. Jabari Smith, 20 points in this game. I love it. 20 points in this game was good in the first half. Jalen Green did not have another bad shooting game. And Alp, 18 points in this game. So I thought we really did a good job. But the sparks for me, Aaron Holiday and Amin Thompson. How about Dylan Brooks, 6 of 7 from the 3, man? He was saying fire, big shot after big shot every time we needed. Dylan Brooks had a cold-blooded game tonight.
Yeah, like we said, that first half, he was not playing too well. He almost ended the first half the first quarter on this ridiculous fadeaway where he hit the top of the corner like he was Pandemic P playing in the bubble. I was not a fan of that at all. He was getting some looks. He wasn't shooting too well. And then coach had a talk with him at the halftime. It looks like bro calmed the hell down. And then he started hitting 3 after 3 after 3. There was that last 3 he hit. He turned around and started talking to the bench a little bit. They was trying to throw him off his game when he shot that 3. And he said, nah, watch this. I love Dylan Brooks. The thing you don't do is you don't talk to the villain, because this is what happens. This is what happens when you talk.
You don't piss him off. You don't piss him off.
Look. He shot 7 threes. He went 6 of 7 from 3, man. just phenomenal tying your career high and only 7 shots. That's crazy. On elite efficiency too. And then let's talk about how the game ended. Oh boy. So Jalen Brunson, I think, ended up hitting a 2. He had a tough,
Yeah,
unbelievably
that
tough
was
step
unbelievable
back
shot.
mid range on Dylan Brooks. Now Dylan Brooks played that perfectly in defense. That is exactly what you do. The contest, the way he kept his hands up, that's exactly what you do. Not on Dylan Brooks. Good defense, better offense. That's how it always works. That's the game of basketball. Now, Jalen Green, my boy, we got bailed out, my guy. I'm not gonna lie. Was it Amen Thompson that got that rebound?
Yeah, he got the rebound. Yep.
Jesus Lord, man. Thank you for bailing out Jalen because, oh my gosh. Jalen tied 103-103. Tries to go up for a reverse layup. Misses. He's having an off night. He misses. Amen Thompson right there gets the rebound. Throws it out. Aaron Holiday throws up a prayer, and Jalen Brunson nicks him on the hip. The same
Damn.
exact call at the end of the game for us against the Kings.
The
For
Kings.
Eric
Yep.
Gordon's last game.
Last game.
Guys,
Yep.
we got to get back to that call. We got to get back. Now,
yep, you ain't lying.
what happened? What was really interesting to me, and we gonna just be 100% honest here. What was really interesting for me is very clearly. I don't know if you saw the replay, but very clearly after Aaron Holiday missed the shot, Ime was telling him to miss, right? So he misses on purpose.
Yeah,
Right?
very clearly.
Yep.
He was
Very clearly, Josh Hart had the rebound in his hand and was calling a timeout when there was time on the clock. But it looked like the refs just wanted to go home. They didn't care. They said, nope, no time on the clock, go home. I thought, I watched the replay at first. I was like, oh, maybe there was a time clock. There was 0.2 seconds on the clock once he started calling a timeout. So they technically should have had the timeout, but it doesn't matter. The past is the past. We move on. A win is a win. Man, what a wild night. What a magical night.
That was a crazy sequence. But anyway, if they did what if they gave them the ball back, they would have to throw it to the rim anyway. And I think we would have probably been ready for it.
Oh yeah, we would have
been ready for it. But again, like I said, win is a win. We beat one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, who's playing very well, who just got better, man. Also another momentum play, man, for the Knicks. I mean, when we was up by 5, we was on the verge of. I think Dylan Brooks just came down and hit a 3 in the corner, I believe. And we played by like 20. We played about, I would say, 22 seconds of good defense. Alec Burks hits a 3 in the corner with a man right in his face right there, man. We played 23 minutes of great defense, and then that happens. And like I say, man, that Knicks team is a really very good team, man. Jalen Brunson he's it, man. Jalen Brunson's got some ice in his veins. That was good defense by Dylan Brooks, but nothing you can do about that when a man is dialed in, especially when you held him in the first half. He comes out hot in the third quarter. And every shot that Jalen Brunson hit was a tough shot. Every shot he hit was a tough shot.
Yeah, he didn't have too many open looks, let alone make too many. Just we were doing everything we could, And I give credit to Dylan Brooks. He played phenomenal defense. Of course there were a couple miscommunications. That's just how basketball works. But Dylan Brooks did a pretty good job overall up on Jalen Brunson. Now, what was really interesting in this game is when the two collided, when Jalen Green and Jalen Brunson collided, and they were like laying together. Our announcers were saying, "Oh man, looking at roses and flowers together, aren't they?" He said, "It's Valentine's Day." I was like, "Bro, calm down, Joe. It's not that serious. It's not that serious, dog." But it is interesting, Jalen was really talking to Brunson down on the floor like that. They seemed like they were chatting a little bit, all fun and games and whatnot. So hopefully, something Jalen can take away some things from Brunson. Brunson's had a really interesting career, really made him a name for himself in his final contract year. I think it was year 4 with the Mavs, and then he did crazy stuff against the Warriors. Did crazy stuff without Luka. He's a really good player. In this next game here, though, Jalen Brunson's becoming his own man. He's really good. He's not a guy that I saw. I didn't really think too highly of coming in, but. Man, he's proven me wrong. He's really good. I enjoy him. Now, they were without OG Anunoby and Julius Randle and Isaiah Hart in this game, but, we don't have Fred VanVleet or Tyree Eason, so I'd say that's, in terms, that's probably equal in terms of not having players.
Yeah.
We won on a call. That's just how it happens. I mean, I remember Jimmy Butler shot free throws in the bubble when the clock was 0-0. So, all right, we got to get back for that call against Air Gordon. Well, we move on. Huge W here, giving us a 24-29 record. We've got one more game, I believe. We play the Grizzlies next, and then that's the All-Star break.
Yep.
So, yeah. And is there anything else really between these games? These slate of games that we really need to hit on. I think what we just really need to talk about is efficiency and 3-point. We need a shooter. We need to be better efficiently. So, speaking of, before we move on into our season grades, let's talk about the trade deadline. Just real quick, it's going to be real simple, short segment here. What the hell, Stone? We made no moves. There were people that were on the buyout market. They got the Mavs got Daniel Gafford for Grant Williams and second-round picks, essentially. That's incredible. We could have got Daniel Gafford for second-round picks. We could have gave them players, Jack Landale, Jayshawn Tate. These are players that we could have given. We did nothing. They also called Jayshawn Tate a late bloomer, saying that they think he's going to be something. Isn't Jayshawn Tate like 28 years old?
Yeah, he's about like 29.
Okay, so Tate is currently in the prime of his life. There is no late bloomer. This is his prime. This is a prime Tate right here. Not much more you can say on that. Nothing on Tate. It's just they made some poor moves. We got Steven Adams for a bunch of second round picks, which is really, really cool. Giving up Victor Oladipo as well. Making a move for the future. But what we needed were moves for this season, right? We needed that shooter. We needed that shooter, like we talked about. We also needed a center for this year because Jack Landale has not been that at all. And Jeff Green can only do so much. He's 107 years old. Starting games for us. That's not great. That's not ideal. You don't want something like that starting. He's a good a good bench piece. I think he's only gone scoreless a handful of games this season so far for us. In only one game did he go scoreless where we ended up losing, So I don't know. We got to work on some things for the trade deadline. Hopefully with the buyout market coming, there's a bunch of players that want to buy themselves out, and hopefully we can sign some people. Bismack Biyombo was also sitting in free agency for so long, and a team swooped him up, picked him up, got the Alperen Sengun stopper right there. So I don't know, Dante. What are your thoughts on the trade deadline? What would you have liked to have seen happen?
First, I say, man, I would like to see I was a big advocate of getting PJ Washington as well, but the Mavericks had to give up a unprotected first round pick. And if it was for a first round pick, I wouldn't want to get PJ Washington like that and give up one of our first round pick. Now, if you told me if there was a late first round pick, like in the 20s era, then I'll probably look at that deal even more and just give up the like 26 first. If it's a 26, if it was around 26 or something, I'll probably talk. We can talk about that, but I wanted, I think I said it on the show before, that I wanted kind of was interested in having PJ Watson, but if it was worth the first round pick, I didn't want to, give him up for a first round. I didn't want to give him no first round pick, especially a protected first round pick. That just showed you, how desperate Dallas was, and it's a lot of pressure on Dallas because they got to win, man. If you're gonna give up a protected first round pick, you gotta win. You gotta win. You gotta at least go far, go deep in the playoffs. And again, I'm not giving up a first round pick for a PJ Washington. I would have gave him. I would have probably gave up the late. If it was a later, like a 20, around 20 or something, I would have probably did that. Probably did it like that. But other than that, I guess Raphael Stone didn't see much. Daniel Gafford was 2 second rounders, I believe.
Yep.
I would have been okay getting Daniel Gafford for 2 second round picks as well. But after Daniel Gafford or pretty much PJ Washington, it's nothing out there. It was really nothing out there. And then a lot of Houston fans, wanted Bismack Biyombo. He wouldn't have been too bad for a rim protector. He wouldn't have probably been too bad for us. But he's already gone. He's already off the board as well on us. So hopefully we can find someone good at the trade at the buyout market, and let's see where he goes from now. But I really think Stone saving those picks to make a big move in the offseason. And if I'm right here with Stone, I'm right here with Stone. I'm supporting Stone. I think we can come up with a big fish in case someone get disgruntled. We can have the MO to get someone in the offseason if someone wants to leave a situation. Just say for Mikal Bridges want to leave his situation. Do you take a chance on doing that then? In the offseason, do you take a chance on doing that then? Then I probably would. So I think he's going to be aggressive in the offseason to see what's out there.
He better be aggressive because he slept throughout the entire trade deadline. There were a lot of things that could have happened. There were reports of like players trying to get Jayshawn Tate for a low second round pick, like a Milwaukee second round pick or something like that, or a first round pick. So like you would have had like a late first rounder. Well, that late first rounder last year ended up getting us Cam Whitmore in the first. So we could have made some plays. It's really unfortunate that it ended like it did. If we think of like Mikal Bridges, the thing is like if we're gonna make a trade like that, they want 3+ first round picks plus young talent. They want a Jalen Green and a Tari Eason. I'm not giving up Tari.
No, I'm not.
I'm also not giving up 3 first round picks and Jalen Green for Mikal Bridges. I'm also not giving up Jalen Green, period, unless I am getting like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander or better. I'm not giving up Jalen Green for anything, Those Brooklyn picks, I think we're okay to start selling them off because the longer we hold on to them, the worse their value is. You want to cash out high on potential value, right? And you see how the Nets are right now. Are sitting around the same seed that we are. The difference is they're trying to win, and so are we. But it just feels different. Especially the last Nets game we had against them, where they bent us over. Man, we got to do something. We got to make some changes. We need some shooting. If there's a way, so Seth Curry, he ended up getting traded from the Mavs to the Hornets as well. If Seth Curry is on the buyout market, Dante, would you go for a Seth Curry, a career 40% 3-point shooter?
Of course. I would go for another shooter. It gives us another shooter coming off the bench. It gives us another shooter. Seth Curry may not play that good of a defense, may not be that good, may not be great on defense, but it gives you another shooter. It gives you another shooter out there on the court. So yeah, I condone it. I condone him.
It'd also be nice because he's another veteran who is used to multiple roles. He can go from playing 0 minutes for a week and then be ready to play the next game. We saw that with Philadelphia, how he was playing almost 0 minutes throughout the playoffs up until the Hawks. And then he started getting minutes. And then he was a starter while Ben Simmons was out while he played for Philly. And then in the James Harden trade where he went to the Nets, Seth Curry played really well alongside Andre Drummond for some reason. He can be anything in between good, great, and bad. But he's consistent from 3, if nothing else. So that'd be a player I'd be okay with picking up if he's available in the buyout market. But I doubt he's going to want to come to Houston. He's probably going to go to like LA or somewhere where he wants to win a championship. And that's fine. I respect that. Now, another player that's on the buyout market is John Wall, who's still sitting out. Obviously, I'm not for him, but at this point, I don't know. We need another competent point guard. And I would have loved to try to get, something like a Tyus Jones or, we've got Seth Curry potentially on the buyout market now. There were a couple other players I would have loved to have had as well, like a Monte Morris, but he's 8-up too now. So going forward, I just hope we make a move on the buyout market. That's the hope.
I hope we do too. I hope we can make a move on the buyout market as well. I hope we can do that as well.
Definitely. Well, that's all we got for the trade deadline. So let's enter the final segment of the show. So we're going to talk about the mid-season grades for our starters plus Tari. And I have Tari on here instead of putting him for the bench. I added him for our starters because he's like a pseudo starter. He'll start whenever he's given a chance. I think he's starter level for our team. So that's why I have him this way. So I'm going to start off with this slide. And the next slide, Dante will start off, of course. So for our 3 starters here, Tari Eason, Dillon Brooks, and Jabari Smith Jr., I'm going to start with Tari Eason, who's been nothing but awe-inspiring this entire season. getting compared to Scottie Pippen on defense all the time, getting compared to Kawhi. This is a man who had high expectations, and he's met those expectations. Other than health, which does affect his grade, he's been phenomenal. It feels like he's shot better. The eye test shows he can dribble more. He can also finish. He's actually finishing layups, which is really nice to see. Other than compared to last season, where that was the common trope was him not being able to bang layup to save his life. Here he is doing just that now. He's been a nice piece, being able to get rebounds, skying in for that, and then being able to thrive in the chaos. Tari Eason has earned himself for the season a B.
All right, for me, the only thing about it, he was playing at an A. He was playing at an A level when he was playing. So the grade kind of perfected him. I'm gonna go B+ on Tyrese. I think he played that well. He played that well enough to deserve an A. But the problem is the injury got him. So I'm gonna give it a B+.
Yeah, the injury is really, really hampering him. And like we've seen the fall off on our team, we just have to be healthy. Tari Eason is such an integral part to our team. And it's just unfortunate he's been out. So I'm gonna go B, I think going B+ on Tari Eason. For Dillon Brooks, this is interesting. So you can go a lot of ways with Dillon Brooks. He's been fairly healthy. He's been, arguably our third most consistent player on the team. He's shooting 46% on the season, shooting 40% from three, which is a career high from three. He's beating all of the expectations. Everyone said he was going to go to China. So technically this should be an A+, right? But obviously no one's getting A+. He's a good player. He's fantastic on defense. He's really solid on offense. We've seen that. He's able to generate fouls. He's able to play the mind games and go teams into, getting techs like we saw against the Lakers. He got 2 players essentially kicked out of the game. He's really good. He plays intelligently. For Dillon Brooks, the thing that really hampers my grade for him is his own mental attitude towards the game, right? Like he can go at other players without having the ball in his hand, and he can goad them into fouls and baiting and all this stuff. And he's a good seller too for fouls. The thing for him is that he gets too big in his head and thinks he's the shit and starts going off trying to, oh, I'm the man. I got to do this and I got to do that. Like we saw tonight at the beginning, he's taking fadeaways like he's LeBron James, like, bro, I need you to calm down with that. I don't like seeing that from you, my guy, to be honest. And then to go along with that, he just sometimes does give up on the offensive side and defensive side, where if he doesn't get the ball occasionally, this is very, very, very rare, but it has happened where if he doesn't get the ball in offensive play, he will walk back on defense instead of hustling back, and then they'll score because they'll have a wide open guy by the time he gets down. Not a fan of that, so his attitude and whatnot. So I'm going to give him a B, same grade as Tari. I'm giving him a B. The only reason he's not getting a B+ is because his mental fortitude is not, he's too inconsistent up there where he starts to think he's the shit and tries to take over the game when he's not, he's not John Morant, he's not Jalen Green, he's not Alfred Sengun, but he tries to act like that. And again, he's had a good string of games these last few games. He's been very consistent all season. I've been happy with his play, but he does need to work on a couple things going into the All-Star break. So go ahead, Dante.
Well, all I want to say is attitude, fresh leadership, captain. And I'm gonna look at what he does on the court. I'm gonna give him an A because he's supposed to be in China right now. He's shooting 40+% from three. Memphis Grizzlies didn't want him out of there. They already, but like soon as the series was over, they already said he wasn't coming back. They immediately said he wasn't coming back.
They came out with that statement, I think.
Yeah, they didn't have faith in him. They didn't want none of that on that team. And they tried to make it seem like that he was a problem of the team where they had other issues, a part of the team. And for him to perform the way he did it perform the way he did, after everybody creamed us and laughed at us about that contract that we gave him, he's proved the worth every penny of that contract. Yes, he can be a crazy guy and a-hole, on the court. He's gonna have some, attitude issues. But what you're getting out of Dillon Brooks, you got a 40% shooter right now. You got a all defensive player right now. On the court, he's a dog. Yes, he's just Dillon Brooks, man. He's just gonna be Dillon Brooks, and his attitude is gonna be his attitude. But on the court, Dillon Brooks has played nothing but phenomenal. He's gonna have some games that he's gonna be off, But on the court, I think he outplayed his contract by far. I'm gonna give him an A for him being on the court. Now his attitude is a different level, but on the court, when he's playing on the court, I think he's by far surpassed that contract and deserving of that contract. So I'm gonna go with an A for what he did on the court, for what he's doing on the court for us.
Honestly, when you say it all like that and you lay it out in beautiful handwriting for me, I'm gonna have to upgrade my ranking. I'm gonna give him a B plus. All right, and it just for me, it's really just the attitude. Like he has met his expectations, like on the court, minus his attitude. He's been perfect. He's been flawless. But for me, the attitude is just too much because I dislike how his attitude will cost us games. We've seen that, like against the Hawks. He thought like, yeah, I'm gonna take over. Let me take over, and then he went 2 of 10 from three, and like. I don't need you pulling up from in transition three like you KD, because you is not KT, my boy. I need you to settle down. You play defense. You shoot the ball when you get the ball occasionally. Play your role, right? Sometimes he acts too big for his contract. Now, minus all that, he's been a fantastic player. So I'll let Dante slide with the A grade for him, because we did say Bull was supposed to be in China.
And yeah, he was. And then the team, like the situation this dude was in and how much bad he got crapped on, that plays a part for me. He was supposed to be in China, and Memphis kicked him out. Soon as that playoff series was over, they kicked him out. They didn't want him no more. They made his reputation really bad. They made his reputation really bad across the league when no team was going to want him. But if you look at it, this guy still has some offers too. Dallas wanted him too. He had offers from Dallas as well, and we gave him the higher money, and he took it. And look how he's performed for us. Look how he's performed on the court for us. He came in, supposed to be going to China, supposed to be, public possibility out of the league. And we got laughed at, and he got laughed at. And for him to perform the way we did, perform the way we do as his individual self and as a team, that kind of elevated the team. So again, I have to reward him I have to reward him for it. I got to give him a reward for him.
Yeah, most definitely. He's earned that, Has a team ever come out with a statement saying we're not going to sign X player and they will not be allowed to come back? Because that is
I never saw a team do that. Immediately after that series was over, they already said they weren't going to give him, weren't going to sign him back. Just to make it seem like he was the problem. Because I was watching, one time Jackson Gatlin, and I believe somebody else. I think the Rockets Fuel. I was watching that dude. And Jackson Gatlin was a guest on that show, and Jackson Gatlin ran into more of the details. The Dylan Brooks, they made it seem like it was Dylan Brooks, but the overall culture wasn't great on the team. The overall culture wasn't good on the team, and they made it seem like they made Dylan Brooks the scapegoat of the squad. And Dylan Brooks even came out and said something. There was no swag on the team, that they had no swag on. You saw what he did. He killed them. He killed them the second time. We went from it. He hit the dagger shot. So, again,
he did.
I got to reward him for it. He came back and blew it up in their face and ended them and killed them. Got him.
Honestly, what's interesting is we have 5 to 6 more wins than the Grizzlies right now. And although the Grizzlies are without John Morant, they're without your best player. Last year, they had the best record ever without a star player. I think they were like 30-1 or 28, like 26-4, like just some absurd record without John Morant. They were like the top seed, the second seed. John Morant MVP, yada yada yada. Just crazy stuff, and they ended up losing to the Lakers, who had to fight in the play-in, and I mean fight for the play-in. Dylan Brooks did talk his shit. I understand that, but it's just absolutely unprofessional for a team to come out with a statement saying we're not going to. Like, can you imagine if Jalen Green, at the end of the season, they're like, all right, we are declining his rookie contract because he's played like such and such throughout for the season for us, and we're just gonna have that kind of culture on our team. That would blow my mind if they said that about players, or like, oh my gosh, Tyler Eason, he's been hurt this whole time. We just don't believe in a player that's always injured. Excuse me? Unfortunate. I'm glad that it worked out for Dylan Brooks. I'm glad that he's actually on the team. I was very, I vented my frustrations earlier on when we signed him. I was like, man, I don't know about this. He's this and that. I didn't really watch much of him over there. I just saw the highlights on on media and whatnot, and he's been nothing but consistent for us. So I understand why Dante giving him an A, but I'm gonna stick with a B plus. I gotta stand I gotta stand on business on this one. I gotta stand my ground on this one. So I'm gonna stay with a B plus. Let's move on here to the third and final guy on this list here. It is Jabari Smith Jr. Compared to his rookie season, I'm just say he's one of the only guys that's getting an A for me. He's got an A. He's improved everywhere on the field. Now his offensive mid-range numbers are down, but he's also taking quadruple the amount he was now than he was last season. He's also much more confident. He's also averaging almost a double-double in his minutes played next to Alperen Şengün, who's also almost averaging a double-double. So we have two bigs on the team putting up almost a double-double a game. Not to mention, the resurgence or the I guess emergence, that's what I was looking for, of Amen Thompson on the team being able to get these rebounds as well. Jabari Smith Jr. has been a fantastic weak side shot blocker, a very competent perimeter defender, which has surprised me. He's very good at that. He's been an excellent three-point shooter, shooting over 36% from three this season, which is exactly where we needed him last season, but he's doing it this season. Improvements. This is every bit that third overall pick I thought we were getting last year. That's him this year. I have almost no complaints for Jabari Smith Jr. He's been very fantastic. Of course, I need him to be, healthier a little bit. He's missed a couple games here, there. I just need a little bit, be more consistent with the healthy end. And he has been as of late. I need him to be more willing to set those like dive screens, the fake out screen and curl. Him and Amen Thompson running that pick and roll is going to be crazy going forward. But damn, what is there to say about Jabari Smith Jr. on the, negatively? There's not much to say, in my opinion. He's fantastic. I'm giving him an A.
Yeah, I mean, he's every bit that I wanted him to be. Like the main part of his game last year, he didn't shoot the didn't shoot the three ball well as he supposed to do when he came out of college. You remember he shot like 40% in college. He rarely missed in college. Last year he shot by like at least 31% from three, and he got that up by 5%. So that's the difference maker to me. I'm gonna give him an A. I'm gonna give him an A. Straight A.
Yeah, and for me, he's just been improved all around on the defensive end too. That's been something that's been phenomenal. Is again him being a weak side shot blocker, being able to guard on the perimeter, and being able to guard guys in the post. He's added some muscle in the shoulders. Like he looks pretty broad in these games that he's playing, and being able to watch him like go against guys, and he's learning how to use his size as well. When anybody that's smaller than him, either size or weight, is smaller on him, he's able to just put him in the post and do that face up jumper he's got, that turnaround jumper, or he's able to just back him down and get an easy layup. So I just love how he's using his body, now that he's kind of grown a little bit more into it, he's understand the game a little bit more, how he's been able to do this. So, yep. Next up, these are our final three for the rest of the season here, or for the midseason grades. We're going to start off. Go ahead, Dante. You may pick who you would like to start off with today.
I'm gonna go with Fred VanVleet. I'm gonna give him a B. I'm gonna give Fred VanVleet a B.
B. Okay.
Yeah, a B. I think he had a little bit of struggles going on in the season, but again, if you want to give him an A, I wouldn't be upset because the overall team culture has really changed with this guy on the team. I think he's part of the reason why this team was sticking together, and him being out really showing, a lot of flaws too of this team. So, you know what? I'm gonna give him a flat out. I'm gonna change my grade and give him an A. I think he deserves an A for the overall, how he plays point guard, and and the leadership of the team, how he holds guys accountable. Of this team, exactly something that we needed was like Ime Udoka said, we need some veterans on this team, some very good veterans, and Ime Udoka, and this guy is one of them. So I'm gonna give him an A.
Yeah, obviously a lot of people criticized us signing Fred VanVleet for this kind of money instead of James Harden, right? But as a fan, I like this signing because I want James Harden to win a chip. I'm a huge James Harden guy. I want him to come here for his final year, of course, give him his Cinderella story ending, but that's it. We're trying to win for a championship, or we're not going for a championship, right? We're trying to build our team. This is phase two. I think James Harden would skip that phase. I think we'd be not necessarily vying for a play-in spot, but we'd be trying to get into the playoffs in general. Like obviously we want to get into the playoffs, but we are trying to get into the play-in right now. That's the goal is the play-in for us. I think with James Harden, the goal post would be moved a little bit farther, like a 6 seed would be the expectations. We would have probably sold off quite a few of our young guys too early. So I like the signing for Fred VanVleet. I'm giving him an A minus. The reason for that is because he just sometimes he's really inefficient, but that's not what we're asking him to do. We're not asking him to score. We're asking him to play point guard, get the assists, ball movement. He's changed the entire culture, and that felt like almost overnight. He him and Ime changed all of Houston community. It changed the culture, changed the dynamic, changed how we play defense. He's helping our guys grow. There's not a lot you can say negatively about him except that he's inefficient from shooting, from the field goal percentage. But again, he is also 6 foot and he does like a lot of floaters, layups, and all that. But he's a really good 3-point shooter, which is really nice to see. He's been pretty nice on that end. There's not too much to say other than that he's been an elite playmaker for us and that he's changed us completely. So, yeah. All right, who you got next, B?
Alperon Sengun. I mean, like I say, he has upgraded his game. He has Ime Udoka has ran the offense through him. Yes, he's had a couple of struggles in this kind of stretch. It's kind of tough grade for me, but like I say, he deserves an A for upping his grade, upping his game, going for 22 points per game. And he's running. Ime Udoka is running the offense through him. He's he has benefited really well. And one thing we wanted him to work on is his paint defense, and he has really worked on that as well.
He's really worked on that block tonight. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, he's worked on that as well. He's been better on defense. So I'll say I think LP should have been an all-star reserve, but again, it doesn't happen for us, But I think he does. I think he deserves an A. Like I say, I think he deserves an A. I'm gonna give LP an A. He's the best player on our team, and he stepped up and played like he was the best player on our team.
Definitely, yeah. He's completely jumped into that role of stardom for us. We were so close to getting him to being an all-star. We voted as hard as we could, but it is what it is at the end of the day. He's an all-star caliber player now. The league sees that. He's consistently getting double and triple teamed in the post. Anything from 0 to 15 feet out, he's potentially getting doubled. Definitely every time he's in the post. It doesn't matter who's on him. I mean, you see, he'll be even on AD, and he bitched AD, bro. Anthony Davis, Alperon Sengun has put in his place. So to be able to do that at your age is just absolutely phenomenal. Let alone just being able to do what he does. I mean, the pirouettes, he's added so many things in his game. It's just phenomenal. And we can see that he definitely worked out with Hakeem Olajuwon because he's got so much in his game. You can't really call it the dream shake, but he's got, the shigoo wiggle, you know what I mean? He got that little thing he got going on there. Still really good for him. Very proud of everything he's done. He's an A. There's no question about it. Not too much to say about that. Obviously, we want him to have a better 3-point, but that's all you can criticize is, hopefully he sees these double teams a little bit better, a little bit quicker, a little bit sooner. He gets a better 3-point. And I want to see him add some more muscle, to be honest, going forward. I want to see him be able to put just a little bit more muscle on. But other than that, that's all we can really criticize him on. Dante, do you want to start with Jalen Green? Or do you want me to? Because, man, this is going to be a tough one.
Say what?
Yeah, man. So you want me to start with Jalen Green or do you want to? Because this is going to be a tough one here.
Oh, man. It's a tough grade, but, again, he's kind of regressed this year a lot. But, I mean, is he regressed? Because a lot we're winning games. We're winning games with him regressing. That's the crazy thing. So,
yeah,
he played. The way he's played this year, he played on a C level. He hasn't played on a A level or a B level. But for the stretch he had, I'm gonna reward him with a B minus.
Give him that little plus. Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a B minus. But he's played like a C. He's played like a C. Like he's been bad, inconsistent all year long. Not bad. I'm not gonna say bad. He's been inconsistent all year long. I'm gonna give him a B, but he's played like a C throughout the whole year. But I guess when you got Fred VanVleet on the team and you got Alp being the all-star that he is, and the offense is running through him. Got Dylan Brooks scoring at a high rate as well. Jabari Smith. I guess, I'm not gonna say that's taking away some of Jalen Green's offense, but again, Jalen Green is a guy that's used to having the ball in his hands. But again, he's had opportunity to get things going, and he just have not gotten it going. But like I said again, man, you know what? I'm gonna give Jalen Green a C plus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just downgrade him to a C plus. I think he's played like a C. It could change later during the year, but C plus is just not bad at all. It's just the regression and then the inconsistencies. One game he'll have an efficient night, and the next game he'll just have a poor shooting night. And he had opportunity. Like the Boston game was his opportunity, to kind of step up. And Ime Udoka, set up some plays up for him too to try to get him going. He just couldn't get going. Been a lot of games he couldn't get going, but he pretty much had a pretty solid stretch. But I'm gonna go with a C plus for Jalen Green. I think he played like a C. I think he played like a C the whole year. It can get better it can get better after the All-Star break, especially in this game coming up against Memphis. Memphis should be a solid game for him to get going. But again, I'm gonna go C plus with Jalen.
Yeah, that's the best that I can say about that is C plus for Jalen. He's been, Dante hit the nail on the nose there. Is just he's been so inconsistent. Like I said earlier, his highs are really high. He had a triple double, first career triple double, right? He's shown progression in rebounding, shown progression, especially of late. His rebounding has been phenomenal. He's being able to sky up and get those rebounds. He's kind of using his athleticism. He's like learning, how to use that still. His playmaking, I'm not sure the numbers wise, but you can see the passes he's making are things that he wouldn't be making last year, right? He's got these driving kicks. He's added that to his game efficiently. It's just his efficiency has been bad for shooting. His 3-point and field goal percentage and free throw percentage are all down compared to last year. And that was the biggest thing this year is like, oh, well, maybe he'll be at like 56, 57, 58% true shooting. That would be phenomenal. That's the leap we're expecting Jalen to take and stay around 20 points per game. And he struggled this year to put up 20 points per game. But in his defense, you can see the growth. On this podcast, Dante and I talked about, how hard it was going to be for Jalen to grow in Ime's system. It was going to be really, really hard. Going from the main ball handler being able to do your thing ball with Steven Silas to somebody that's actually knows how to win, knows how to do things. Unfortunately, it's just taking a little bit, and that's all right. This is year 3 in his rookie contract. I've said it last podcast. I said the podcast before. Steve Nash. It took him 6 seasons before he was an all-star, before he even averaged 8 assists a game. Right, 6 seasons before he started doing that. And you also want to look at other players like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He had to have Chris Paul on his team and still only averaged 20 a game in order for him to find himself. And it took him the season after to really learn how to play ball. Look at Lou Dort, who was like, he wasn't even existed on the league. And Chris Paul came over there and changed that guy's fate, changed how he is. We've got Fred VanVleet here, who's, a guy that I want to say is not anywhere near the same play style as Jalen, but Jalen is taking things that he's learning from Fred VanVleet on and off the court to excel in his own game. So again, I'm gonna put him in a C+ for his grade, but his efficiency is just not there. I've seen improvements. The eye test says, and he's been a great on-ball defender. He is currently 85th percentile in the league for on-ball defense, which is
that's
incredible to say.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge improvement right there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Again, I think Coach Ime Udoka, I commend him, like I said, for it because again, he didn't give up on Jalen Green.
Yes.
And Jalen Green still got a lot of that potential left. I think he's 22 years old. He just had a birthday, I believe. Jalen in Toronto. Jalen Green can put the basketball in the basket at times. Just need him to be more efficient. Especially he had a lot of wide open opportunities.
Yeah, getting sure wide open shots.
Yeah, he just got to. He has to make those open shots when he gets them. But I think the Memphis game on Wednesday night, I think this is a good game for him to try to go with some momentum into the All-Star break. I think he's due for a big night going to Memphis. I think we already 3-0 versus Memphis. And they were on a roll when they had Ja Morant. Now that they lost Ja Morant, they're looking like the team that we first saw. But again, Memphis is a tough place to play. So you don't want to go in now. You don't want to go in there and get down early and happen to try to come back in that game. You want to go in there and get up early and put this team away. But I think Memphis game for Jalen Green will definitely give them a huge boost of momentum going into the All-Star break.
Definitely. And we'll see how it goes from there. So hopefully we can come out with a W. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Comment below down, on the YouTube comments. Let us know your grades for the starters. Let us know what you're thinking for Jalen Green, for Şengün, for Fred, for Tari. Let us know, guys. Be sure to follow my boy Dante at Coach Dante31 on his YouTube channel. Be sure to follow him at Coach Dante31 as well on his Instagram. And follow him on the X app. You can follow me on the X app, your regular host, Preston Simpson, at the X app at drip2ps_GAWD, as well as on Instagram. You can follow this account, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube, Instagram, and the X app at the H-Town Rundown. Guys, be sure to tune in for our next episode where we have Jackson Gatlin on. It's going to be very exciting. We're going to talk about some post-All-Star stuff, what we can do to change that up, what the expectations are going forward for the rest of the season. Very excited to talk ball with Jackson Gatlin. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Dante, you have a good night. Hopefully our boy Jabari shows out at the All-Star break this season. So
yeah,
thank you guys. You have a good night.
You have a good night, guys.